Alright, welcome back to the next video. In this particular video, we will understand how you can add an inquiry data. So, first off, what exactly is an inquiry? An inquiry is basically any requirement that has come from the client. We call that an inquiry in the Sarthi 360 ecosystem. So basically, in the simplest words, an inquiry is the open positions on which you are working that has been given to you by the client. All right. So now, once since we've understood this, let me tell you how you can locate the particular section of adding an inquiry data. Again, we go on to the left panel. We click on in-house data, and here you will see this section titled inquiry data, and you click there. Alright, once you click there, all the current active inquiries that are there within the system will be updated here. Alright, now if there is a particular previous inquiry that you want to edit, you can type it out here and search it. You can type the company name or the title of the inquiry, which is the title of the position, and you can search that. You can choose these two particular filters to find it. For example, this is basically the name of the company, this is the designation name, the status, which is all of these statuses. So you can choose that. We will be going deeper into this a little bit later. But for now, just know that if there is a particular inquiry that you have added previously you are looking for, you can click on search. So for example, if I search demo, which was something I had initially showed you that we had added in the client data management. So demo was the name of our client, and when I searched for it, I can see all the company names with the name demo appear here. Now there could be a possibility that there is a company name which is similar to the one that you are working for, but it's a different company. So at that point in time, please be very mindful of understanding the other details here before choosing to click on edit or choosing to do any particular edits to that particular inquiry. Alright, so let's start with how you can freshly add an inquiry data. So as you can see, for you can right below the filters is this button on add inquiry data. Now you click on this. Once you click on it, this form will open up to add the inquiry data. Alright, now the first thing that you need to add here is the name of the franchisee. So this is basically you have to add in your own name. So for this particular one, I just add demo franchisee. All right. Once you add this particular detail, that is your name, the other relevant details would be automatically fetched for you. What do I mean by this? I'll show it to you. So for example, now the second field that you need to input is the client. So the client for whom you are working inquiry or adding the inquiry, which is the position that you are adding in, on the basis of the name that you have added here, all the active clients that you are working on at the moment will appear. So as you can see, we had added additional three particular clients: demo client 1, demo client 2, in terms of the additional data that we had added in while adding client data. So let's say you click on client, you click on whatever the name of your client is, the demo client. Now all the other relevant details which were input at the first point by the BD member will automatically be filled. As you can see, the name of the BD member, the company name, the GST name, the designation, the name of the HR, everything is added here, whatever previous information that was there. Now, keep in mind, there is a possibility here we have added, while we were adding the client data, we had specifically added the different names of the branches using the differentiators 1 and 2. There is a possibility that the additional name that you had added of the primary company was similar or the same. In that case, if that happens here, let's say I had added demo client and demo client, two additional names within the same client management data, both the names would have appeared here with the same name. So it is your responsibility at that point in time that once you are done filling the form, you go back and you check on to all the pieces of information whether the appropriate details were fetched. So basically, once you click on it, you need to go back and you check. Okay, is the name of the team leader correct? Is the GST number correct? Was the name of the HR executive? And all of these other pieces of information, are they correct or not? So keep this in mind in the scenario that there are similar company names, or if there are similar additional names in what you had previously added. Okay. The next section is within the inquiry data form is the HR recruitment details. So as we had mentioned earlier, at that in the client management data, the business details was under which the placement details, credit period, replacement period. So all these terms, financial terms and conditions, was under the business details section that will be automatically filled in here. What you are required to add is the position name. That is the title of the requirement, the position title that the client has given you. You need to add that. So, for example, you were working for, let's say, a sales executive. This is the position that you are working for. The next thing you have to add after this is the date of allocation, which means the date that the requirement was given to you. So, for example, the date that was the requirement was given to you was 1st of April 2026. Very hypothetical, keep this in mind. The next thing you need to add is the salary range that was given by the client to you for the position, basically their budget. Okay. Here you need to add the lower term of the range and the higher term of the range. This needs to be added in lakh LPA format, basically the annual salary, which would be in lakhs, without any decimals or commas. This is very important, keep it in mind. For example, it, the salary range that was given to you was 4 lakhs to 6 lakhs. Alright. Now, the next thing that you need to add is the inquiry status. So, now the next thing that you need to add is the inquiry status. It is a drop down field. If you click on it, multiple options will appear. Let me walk you through by each of them. The first is in progress. Now, if you're adding this inquiry for the very first time, it will always be in progress, which basically means that you are working on this, or this was working on this at the moment, or this is an active ongoing inquiry. So the first time you're adding it, it will always be in progress. Closed means that the inquiry, basically the position you ended up, the candidate that you gave to the client is selected, the candidate has accepted the offer, they joined, and the invoice for the candidate has been raised. This is what means closed. Whether just another piece of information, closed, it means whether the invoice is yet to, like, the candidate has joined the company for sure, the invoice is yet to be raised or has been raised, either or. The next is cancelled. The next is cancelled, which basically means that the inquiry that was given to you has been cancelled or withdrawn. The next is offered and accepted. This basically means that the candidate was selected and they were given the offer by the company and they have accepted the offer. But there is still some time before the candidate joins the company. The next is offered and rejected, which basically means that the candidate was given the offer, the client liked the candidate, but they rejected the offer that was given to them and they did not end up joining. The next thing it means is position on hold, which means that the client has said that the position, they have paused the hiring for the position, they've put it on hold. Internally closed means that the client mentions that they have closed this position from someone within the internal organization or through internal resources. And lastly is reallocation. This is in the scenario where you were unable to close this particular position and you had requested your TL to transfer it to somebody else. Now, if there are any particular remarks that you would like to add about the entire transaction, in the end, you can add it here. And once you are confident after checking through all the details, if this is matching of about the position that you are hiring for this particular client, keep in mind that there is a chance you can be working on two different requirements. They could have the same title for the same client also. Keep in mind that you have to add a different inquiry for each of the positions, even if the title is same. Because if two candidates end up joining, two different invoices need to be generated for both the positions, even if the title of the position is the same or the client name is the same. So, keep in mind for every singular inquiry or every singular requirement, you need to add a different inquiry. Once this is done, once you are done checking, you can click on save. All right. And you wait for this particular pop up, which basically will inform you whether the inquiry was created successfully or not. And once it has been created successfully, the inquiry will appear here in this entire table. If you want to find it, you can either type the particular position name. For example, we had searched for sales executive. As you can see, along with the timestamp. This is also, if let's say you had just entered an inquiry and you just want to check whether it is correct or not, the particular time period it was last updated will be appear here, and you can check. So as you can see, this is the entire process. And this, as each and every partner keeps adding an inquiry, this table keeps on growing. So keep that in mind. And as I mentioned, if you ever want to particularly search the inquiry that you are hiring for, you can add in either the company name or the, let's say if I just add demo. So, all right, all those clients with the similar names or this keyword will appear here. And if you want to sort out from the list your particular client, you can sort it out by the name of the company. Since we're adding the company name, this won't apply. If you have written the sales, let's say the position name, then you can apply here, apply the company title. So, for example, if I've written sales, you can sort by the name of the company where you can try finding out your company here. So, because once you type it here and if you don't select this particular filter, all the inquiries that have this keyword will appear. Or you can filter it through designation that you have added, and you can choose to sort it by the name of the franchisee, the name of the BD member, the name of your TL. And you can also sort it with in terms of all the statuses. So let's say if you click on offered and accepted, all the particular inquiries that have this particular status of being offered and accepted will appear, and you can find your particular inquiry. You can click here to edit it, or you can click here to delete it. Delete is rather mostly not relevant to you, but yeah, you can click here on to edit the inquiry.
All right, everybody. Now we are going to go into how exactly you can close a particular inquiry, which will help the finance team here raise the invoice or raise the billing. So for that, again, you have to go to in-house data, go on inquiry data, and if you remember, we had added a demo inquiry. So first you need to add the inquiry, and then after the position is closed, you have to make the necessary edits within the same inquiry to add in the necessary details for generating the invoice. Alright, the search demo, once you have correctly located the actual inquiry that you have closed, then the way to edit it is that you go on extreme right corner of the table and click on this edit inquiry option, and you scroll towards the end. So the last basically how you need to raise add in the details for the invoices, that you go to the inquiry status, and from the status that you had previously included while adding the inquiry, you need to mark it closed. As you know, the invoice will be raised or the billing will be raised after the position has been closed and the candidate has joined the company, which you can mark it here as closed. Once you do that, automatically the candidate's details form, this form where you need to add the details of the candidate, which will help the team generate the accurate invoice, will pop up. So the first thing that you need to do is here is add the name of the candidate. So for sample, let's add the name, then the mobile number of the candidate. For sample, I'll just add this random number here. Email ID of the candidate. Ensure all of these details you take from the candidate and are accurate. Date of birth is optional, so you can skip it. The source of CV. So where did you exactly source the CV from? The designation that they were hired for. So or ensure that these data points matches the information that you had added in the inquiry in the first place. The year of experience. So whatever the years of experience of the candidate, let's say 0 to 3, the salary that was offered. Again, remember this has to be the annual salary without any commas, without any decimals, just the entire annual salary in one go, and the date of joining. So you can select as in how relevant. For example, it was 22nd April 2026, and the service charge, which was 8.33, or whatever was the that was decided. And yeah, then you can click on save. And once you see this notification, all the details necessary for the invoice or the billing to be generated will automatically be fed in the system, and the team will take care of it, okay, take care of it further. Thank you.